But you can fix this problem by having a certain schedule for Ramadan, like a time for doing the prayer, another time for reading the Holy Quran, another time to have it with your kids to teach them something. If you have kids, if you have something to do else, you can read any of the books about the how to be involved more with the Islamic rules, with Islam in general. This is according to one of the schedules. Maybe some of the people that you're mentioning, maybe they're spending the whole night in reading from the Holy Quran or praying, so they give themselves the right to sleep just as a gift after having this long night, spending this long night with Allah. Maybe.
What I'm saying is, I think people here don't appreciate what a luxury they have during fasting.
Yes.
Because their whole country changes during fasting.
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, it's geared to fasting. You know, the whole, the work ethic, everything changes.
So
but
what
in
do you
England
think,
it doesn't. It
what do you
stays
think
the
about
same.
the main lesson from fasting?
Sorry?
What do you think about the main lesson from fasting in Ramadan? Or fasting in general?
Well, of course, fasting is a way of cleansing your soul. You know, it's a very spiritual thing. It's a relationship between you and Allah. It's a way of asking Allah to forgive you for what you've done throughout the year.
Yes.
You know, it's like going to a spa. You know, it's supposed to be a very spiritual, relaxing thing.
It also trains you on patience, how to be patient. It trains also you on how to know. It pushes you to know how about the feelings of the people that are complaining from starvation, from just the shortage of the food resources. So you can try the same feelings with the poor and the needy people, just to feel them. And then at the end or during Ramadan, there is a lot of the almost gave or paying zakat or sadaqah. Okay, so this is after feeling with the same feelings of the poor, after having this long day without taking anything, like just to take food or to drink anything. So this is just to taste the complaints of the poor and the needy people. This is one of the lessons too.
Yeah,
but
of course.
For me, the most important thing, I think, it's just to be trained on patience.
I agree. It's a shame it only happens once a year.
So, tell me about the first Ramadan you spent here in Saudi Arabia, and how about the manifestations? Of course, you tried or you tasted the two experiences, being a Muslim in London and being a Muslim in Saudi Arabia. Tell me about the differences between the manifestations in Ramadan here and there.
Well, actually, being a Muslim in London is rather like being an expat here. You know, the community is quite close because there's not so many of them, and they are aliens according to the normal society. You know, same as like when you come over here as a British guy or an American guy. Yeah, it's a very big culture shock. Yeah, so you know, you tend to stick together. Yeah. You know, you seem to find that you know more of your own people here than you do back home.
Yes.
You know, because and that's how it is also as a Muslim back home. You tend to gel with other Muslims far quicker than you would here. You know, funnily enough, you know, they all have a similar dilemma to you.
Yes.
You know, especially like during Ramadan and other special holidays. Yes. You know, everybody goes and visits each other. It's a much more communal thing as a Muslim in, say, London than it is as a Muslim here, for us anyway.
The last question is about, of course, all of us knows about that Islam is going and spreading everywhere and in every place. How can we keep this increasing? This is our duty as Muslims. How can we keep it?
Well, I've always felt that if you want to impress somebody with what you have, then you should sort of portray it in the best way.
Yes.
Unfortunately, that doesn't happen very much. You know, when I look at the Muslim world, and I think that we had a blessed prophet who also actually foretold the future. You know, he wrote it all down, and said, this is what will happen if we don't do this, that, or the other. We're still doing this, that, or the other, even though we have these prophecies, and you know, we know what's going to happen at the end of the world. We know how it's going to happen. We don't exactly know when, but we don't need to. We can see all the signs, and still the signs are happening. Yeah, and I don't know if we'll ever do anything about it. It's really sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have the best religion. It's the final part of what I think is like a trilogy.
Yes.
You know, like for example, the Torah was revealed to the Jewish people, and
Yeah.
it was revealed to them because that's what they needed at that time.
Yes.
The Injil was revealed to them too, because they needed it at that time. They weren't ready for the Quran.
Yes.
That's what Isa
right.
said, and he even said it in the Bible itself.
Yes.
You're not ready for me yet, you know. Yet they take it out of context. Yeah, this is humankind. Yeah, this is
Yes.
us all over.
That's right.
Yeah, history is like.
Mr. Paul, I'd like to ask you about, in the time of being a Muslim, you are a Muslim since 20 years ago. You spent 10 of them in England and the other 10 years in Saudi Arabia. What you did in these 10 years in the UK to support your new religion?
Well, as I said earlier, I was very enthusiastic about it, and I found myself, like, instead of studying mathematics, I was reading hadith.
Yes.
Or I was like practicing my next lesson with this Abdul Razak, his name was. He was my teacher when I first became Muslim.
In the UK?
Yeah, in London. And I got to the point where I kind of lost interest in the engineering degree, to the point where I was really just learning hadiths, learning the next verses of the Quran, and bothered about what was going on in the world. And of course, Bosnia was hitting the news at that time.
Yes.
It was just after the war in Kuwait.
Yes.
And now there was this thing going on in Bosnia.
Yeah.
And these guys didn't look like Arabs or Indians or black people. They were like Europeans like us. And I was thinking to myself, wow, these guys are, you know, they're just like me. They look like me, you know, and we're doing this to them, you know.
Yes, yes.
And I wanted to do something.
Yes.
I really felt.
So you studied hadith?
Well, I was already studying hadith. I had 3 classes. I was studying the Arabic language, the basics of it.
Yeah.
I was studying the first surah, or the last surah, sorry, of the Quran.
Can we say that Martin is a good speaker for Arabic?
On TV? No.
On TV, no. Okay.
I guess I should know it more, but being an English teacher, it's very difficult.
Okay.
But anyway, enough of the excuses. So I was learning on 3 fronts in Islam, you know,
Yes.
and I found I really lost interest in doing an engineering degree, and I actually dropped out of university because I felt my conscience pricked so much by what was going on in Europe. And I actually, I said to my wife, because we'd just got married at that time,
Yes.
and I asked her, I want to do something about this. You know, I just can't sit here and see what's going on with these people. You know, they're being slaughtered by these guys that, you know, they've got no weapons, you know, they're totally outnumbered. And that evening, someone came up to me in my local mosque and said, I heard you want to go to Bosnia.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, how do you know? You know?
Yeah.
So I said, yeah, I do. Yeah. So he said, okay, we have a meeting. And a couple of these guys came over and we had a meeting, and they said, okay, you have to fund yourself because we don't have the. But my local mosque was fantastic.
How fabulous what you're saying.
All the guys, they put together some money. They said, okay, let's put some shoes, clothes, and food, and money, and everything. And this is what we did. One night I'm waiting in the mosque, and I was, to be honest, terrified. Yeah?
May Allah bless you.
And these guys came in, these tough-looking Pakistani guys, and I'm like, oh, here we go. And we get in these vans,
this is
and
the
off we
spirit
go.
of Islam.
And we went down to Dover. We got on the boat. We went across the channel. Drove right through Europe, you know, into Bosnia. Oh, well, actually, it wasn't Bosnia the first time we went. It was actually it was Split, and we stayed there. We did some humanitarian work there. We moved around a bit. We went up to Zagreb, and of course at that time it was all war. The Croatia was like in war anyway.
Yeah.
And then I came back, and I was so bitten by this bug of going over there that I actually went over another 3 times. And it wasn't until the last time that I actually went inside Bosnia and saw what was going on. I had a load of old black and white stills because a friend of mine was a photographer with Reuters.
Yes, to see what was happening with those people at this time during the war.
I met some beautiful people over there. The Bosnian people were wonderful people. They gave us their last things that they had, because they knew that we'd come all that way to help them, to do something at least.
Of course.
Places like Travnik and Sarajevo. I never actually went to Sarajevo. The trip that I went to, I was destined to go to Sarajevo. Also. My wife called me and told me that she'd lost her job. Oops. And so she asked me to come back. And the trip that I was supposed to go on, my friend and his and the leader of the little group that we had, a little convoy of trucks, they went in on their own, even against the advice of the authorities. And I ended up getting killed on the mountainside. So, and I read about, so I kind of saw his face on the news in the evening, and I'm like, wow, I recognise that guy. But I didn't know his English name. I only knew him as Ibrahim.
Yes.
And Ibrahim Golightly, God, really, I hope God is pleased with him, because he died on the mountains of
Mashallah, you did a lot during these 10 years, mashallah.
After that, I didn't get the chance to go back again, but I got an invitation from Pakistan to go on a Dawah course over there in the Islamic University.
In Dawah?
Yeah,
yes,
in the Dawah Academy.
Yeah,
and
to study there?
To study Dawah,
Yes.
There was like there were several professors from all over Islamic universities around the world. Yeah.
So you studied Dawah there in Pakistan?
Yes.
For how many years?
Not years actually. It was a 3-month course.
3 months.
But we had like lectures every day. It was like, I had reams of notes that I'd made because it was really fascinating. The main focus of it for me was like comparative religion.
Yes.
There was guys coming in like talking about Shiism.
And this makes your Islam stronger. When you compare between Islam and some other religions, I think that this will support your Islam and makes it like stronger than before when you compare.
Well, it broadened my knowledge. Going back to the first time I became a Muslim, I was in the university campus, and this guy comes up to me, and he said, "I heard you become a Muslim." He said, "Congratulations." I said, "Thank you." He said, "What kind of Muslim are you?" I said, "I don't know, a Muslim." I didn't know there were different kinds of Muslims.
Yes.
I thought you were either a Muslim or you weren't,
You're a brother.
Took me aback, I was like, I don't know what to say. And he said, "Oh, are you Shia, are you Sunni, are you this, are you that?" I said, "I don't know. I'm sorry. I've just become a Muslim yesterday. I don't know what I am."
Dear audience, I'm so sad to leave you now, but our time has been finished. Let us, inshallah, meet together in another episode of How I Converted to Islam. Thank you. Peace upon you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
From between